today. My fault.
Where were you at when this came out?
This is
what year was this?
90s. This is mid-90s.
95, 96?
You might have been in high school.
Yeah, I was high school.
Like
sophomore year of high school. Were you like?
I was in the league
50?
getting checks. I was in the league getting checks. Driving on the Whitestone Bridge, or GW or something, going to games.
What was your New York City car? What was your car when you drove to the city? That's me. You can tell us the truth. I want to know what Keyshawn Johnson drove back then. You got that smile on your face.
Because I had a couple whips, man.
Tell me about it.
When I first came to New York, I had a Ford Expedition.
Okay.
Blacked all the way out with some big wheels, just like crazy beast-looking car.
Yeah, you need that in the city. Potholes and stuff.
Something like, but this was way back when, something that you would think like the presidents would be driving, caravanning. Then I did a deal with Lincoln, so then I got a Navigator. In the springtime, I copped a Porsche, and then a Ferrari, and then a S600. Those are my cars out here.
Woo. I know when you hit a pothole in New York in that Ferrari, you were hot. See, you guys don't even know what just happened. Key just leaned back in the seat and just rolled his eyes.
One day.
Sorry, Zubin, I had to ask this question.
One day I was coming from the game. And, in New York, I don't know. I'm new. I'm really not. This was like in 97, 98. So I'm really not aware of the weather like that. So I'm checking it out. I'm like, it might rain a little bit, whatever. Man, it started snowing. So I lived in Long Island, coming all the way from New Jersey, and I had to go to Long Island. It started snowing. I was doing this in the car,
swaying side
to side in the snow, because I didn't know how to watch the weather. I didn't have an app.
You didn't have to do that in L.A.
No,
it's always nice.
First car, Honda Civic, but fellas, 4-door.
4-door.
4-door. Automatic.
I love you so much. Yeah.
Automatic.
Get it, Zubin. Get it.
Oh, God. I had a Honda in college, though, Zub.
What's that?
I had a Honda in college.
I paid for mine, though. Just kidding.
I knew somebody who owned a dealership.
What had happened was...
All right, so in the words of Biggie, to get back on track, if it's possible, not like Key driving off track in the snow, but to get back on track, in the words of Biggie, the Bears have been hypnotized, okay? Because their last win came October 18th. Think about where we are. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The Bears' last win was at Carolina, October 18th. Since then, losses to the Rams, the Saints, the Titans, the Vikings. They've lost 4 in a row. Here come the Packers. Think about that. Here come the Packers off the bye. Mitch Trubisky has a shoulder injury. Nick Foles has a leg and hip injury. Matt Nagy is trying to pick between the worst of two.
With both of these guys, with where they're at and their injuries, that's what we're kind of working through right now to see exactly where they're at. So the good thing for us coming off the bye is it happened over the bye for Nick, and now we're able to kind of day by day just see where he's at. We're going through and just trying to figure out, okay, health-wise, where they're at. And then also us, too, like coming through the bye, like I said, us evaluating where we're at as a team, as an offense, all of that is on the table.
Bears and Packers Sunday Night Football. Key, what does Nagy have to do when you consider what's on the line for him, his QBs, and his team?
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have never done anything at 3-0. You just play, and I said that from day one, you just play it out and let it roll. Once he went to Nick Foles, I felt it would be hard to go back to Mitch Trubisky at this point, because now you're playing with the psyche of the quarterbacks and the psyche of the room. You're getting ready to waste a pretty good defense for the second year in a row messing around. You're playing too many games. Stay consistent. The one time that you did make the playoffs as a head coach is when your defense was on fire and they got you there in your first year. Look at that formula. Mitch Trubisky was not Brett Favre. He was not Aaron Rodgers. He was Mitch Trubisky, and you still made the playoffs. You didn't get any better by getting Nick Foles. I understand that from the familiarity standpoint, yeah, you may have had a conversation with Doug Peterson. You may have had a conversation with Andy Reid in the offseason about acquiring the quarterback at the same time and saying Nick Foles could help him. But look, man, Jay, at the end, you got to make the right decision for your job. And the right decision, if he's healthy, is to play Mitch Trubisky.
Well, the right decision for Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy is Eric Bieniemy on line 1.
Oh, God.
Let's just call it for what it is.
They're not gonna run that back again. I know,
but this is just a straight up embarrassment. I know what you meant by that too. I hear you. It's just straight up embarrassment that you're even going through this in the first place with as great as a defense that you have, and they rank 31st in scoring and total yards. It's embarrassing. It's sad to watch. It's a car accident happening in slow motion. I'll leave it at that.
Dang, they rank 31st in scoring per game at 19.1. Yards per game, 300 yards a game at 31st. That's, there's only 32 teams.
I know, Key.
God, that's a bad deal. But if I'm Matt Nagy and I got both of these guys as healthy, I'm just gonna roll with Mitch Trubisky. I'm diving all in on that.
Does it really matter who he rolls with? It doesn't really matter who he rolls with. It's over. Let's just call it. It is over. Sorry, Matt.
Jeez.
What?
You fired the coach.
I didn't fire him. I'm just saying, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, my friends are in Chicago, it's been over for a minute.
You fired the coach. Zoom in. Take it away.
Zoom in. Go to break, please.
Indeed.
I fired somebody.
Speaking of sorry, there are 14 teams right now that are going to say if the playoffs started today, which is such a SportsCenter cliche thing to say because they don't start today. But if they did start today, there are 14 teams that would be in the postseason. So the question is, who's the biggest phony of them all? In there, but doesn't deserve to be there. The fellas will weigh in on that after the fellas have this.
It's over, Matt. It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Plus 20 gigs of hotspot and 100 gigs of cloud storage and more, all on the best networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubis.
Be sure windows are made from natural gas. Its base oil is 99.5% free from impurities. It gives you unbeatable engine protection, so the next time you get an oil change, you better ask for Pennzoil. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A, wear tests using SAE 5W-30.
Miss anything from today's show and want to catch up? You can